with the principles of a free society.
I agree on that. And the, is it? I take it you repeal the Patriot Act would be a step and all that. What should? Well, I know when we ask what should be done, everybody working and educating itself out there. I would like to pull back and gain some more of the legal setup that's been given away to the federal government. It just seems incredible in the last few years, and going back to the people that are used to protest the war, now they're not because maybe they don't want to see the same thing too. That as you were saying, Obama administration is just the third term out there of Bush and a lot of these things. What's politically, I guess. Do you think this 2010 election is going to be significant for getting people elected, or is this I guess I'm asking you to make predictions, and I understand if that doesn't fit in there. I'm just kind of curious what you think about this upcoming election here in 2010.
I think the point you make is a very interesting one, and I think it's impossible to predict for this reason that you've got Obama in foreign policy and civil liberties doing precisely what Bush was doing. I mean, he's just adopted the Bush doctrine on civil liberties and foreign policy. And so you've got conservatives and neocons, Republicans, who are very conflicted because they obviously don't like this guy because of his domestic socialism and also his gun control background, his propensity to enact gun control. But yet they like him on his torture and his enemy combatant doctrine. And they have this blind spot about civil liberties. I mean, from the very beginning, we've taken here at the Future of Freedom Foundation as libertarians a consistent stand, a stand that conservatives could not understand. We oppose socialism. We oppose interventionism here, the drug war, the regulations, and so forth. But we also were fierce and have been fierce defenders of civil liberties. Well, this is where conservatives and neocons have a blind spot, is why civil liberties are so vital to a free society. So you've got this weird dichotomy of where a conservative or a neocon will say, I oppose giving Obama the power to come and take my guns from me, over my cold fingers, he'll take my gun away. But I want him to have the power to come and round me up as an enemy combatant, arrest me arbitrarily, label me a terrorist, and go over and torture me and keep me in jail for the rest of my life without a trial. I mean, it makes no sense. So now you also have liberals that are being quiet because their man's now in office. Not all liberals. We had two conferences here on civil liberties and foreign policy in 2007 and 2008, and we invited conservatives, liberals, and libertarians to speak there. And I'm happy to say that if I'm not mistaken, every one of the liberals that spoke at our conferences have taken a principled stand criticizing what Obama's been doing on civil liberties. Very gratifying. So not all liberals are sealing their lips now that their man's in office, but a lot of them are. So now you've got these elections coming up. What do the liberals do? Do they elect people that are standing for principles that they know they don't believe in on civil liberties? What do the conservatives do? Do they stand against a guy that's enacting all this socialism, but at the same time doing what they love to do in terms of torture and violation of civil liberties? I don't know. I mean, the nice thing about being a libertarian is that we don't have to concern ourselves with these problems. We vote for people that take a consistent stand on liberty, and if they don't, we don't vote for them. We'd rather not vote at all than to vote for the lesser of two evils or three evils.
Yeah, I guess the setup on there. I got a couple questions here from the chat room. I'm going to start. This is people I just looked over here and I missed some of these, and we're going to be going back here with the gold. And I was talking about the hoarding thing, and maybe I didn't understand the question. Now they put it in a little different. It says a lot of people have concerns that gold will end up in the hands of a few, and they control the price. Maybe we already kind of went over that again. But anything to say more than maybe the competing currencies would correct that or something like that, or
Yeah, it's really it's not a rational fear because what we're talking about is just people's money. I mean, this is the system that existed throughout the 19th century, where people go out and they have businesses and they serve their customers. All they're doing is just transacting in gold. So yeah, you're going to have the Bill Gates of the world that are accumulating massive amounts of wealth, but that doesn't preclude other people from acquiring wealth too. This notion that one man's going to be able to get all the gold in the world, it just doesn't work that way. Um, any more than he has all the paper money in the world. He acquires a certain amount of wealth, but then there's a large amount of wealth dispersed among all the other people in the world who are transacting business and so forth. Now, all you're doing is taking a fixed quantity of something and dividing it up in terms of how people are transacting in their everyday affairs and their medium of exchange. If some guy theoretically were to, let's say, corner the gold market, people turn to silver coins. If the same thing happens there, they turn to copper, or as you suggested, some other form of medium of exchange. This is the advantage of competing currencies: is that people are free to transact in whatever medium of exchange they find advantageous.
Thank you for the answer. And then this is another question I think it's coming back to when we were talking about the Patriot Act and what happened after 9/11. The Beetle in the chat wants to know if you think the government was involved. I guess I would assume he means the U.S. government in 9/11, or do you believe in the official story?
Well, I don't believe the government was involved in 9/11. I believe that the attacks were exactly what happened in 93. The U.S. government was doing very bad things to people overseas, especially in the Middle East. I mean, they had this brutal sanctions against Iraq. They were killing hundreds of thousands of children. You had Madeleine Albright, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, that said the deaths of 500,000 Iraqi children were worth it. You have stationing of troops on Islamic holy lands. I mean, you had this stoking of this fire, the poking of the hornet's nest by the U.S. government after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and people were angry. They were rageful. You could see this in the sentencing hearing of the guy that committed the 1993 terrorist attack, Ramzi Youssef. Just horrible rage for what the government was doing over there. So I have no doubts that this is what happened in 9/11. However, I just blogged on this today. So I think the 9/11 truthers, their case fails because I think they lack the evidence, the persuasive evidence. They haven't convinced me. But you've got this other group like Charles Krauthammer that just wrote in the Washington Post that this is outrageous, that this is inconceivable that the federal government would do this. Well, he obviously doesn't know about Operation Northwoods, or simply chooses to ignore it. I think he probably does know about it and just doesn't want to talk about it. And I'd invite people to read my blog today about Operation Northwoods and the 9/11 truthers. And that was a plan that the Joint Chiefs of Staff came up unanimously, recommending that President Kennedy instigate a plan of fake terrorist attacks, fake hijackings, making it look like it was Castro's Cuban agents doing this, killing innocent people in the process, sinking refugee boats on the high seas with Cuban refugees, and making it all look like it was Cuba, so that could then use that as a pretense to conduct an illegal attack on the Cuban government, a military invasion. Well, okay, has the Pentagon ever apologized for this? Have they acknowledged it and said, God, this is really embarrassing, we wish we had never done it? No. So how can they be surprised when people think that the government engages in these types of things, when the government planned and recommended to the president that they engage in these types of things? I think it's incumbent on the Pentagon to confront Operation Northwoods and apologize for it and say that they will never, ever consider doing that again. Otherwise, I don't see how they can be surprised when people are out here saying that they think the government did this type of thing.
Okay. Well, we're coming here near the top of the hour here. We have, there's going to be another host coming up here. Kitty said, what's the name of the program? Any closing words you'd like to share?
Yeah, I invite people to come to our website at fff.org. We've got a daily email update that we send out for free. We would invite everybody to subscribe to it. We consider it the finest libertarian daily op-ed editorial page on the internet. And if you like our work, support us, because we rely on donations to keep us going. And we're fighting hard to restore a free society to our land, which, of course, we mean a libertarian society.
Okay, well, I thank you very much for your time today, and I will be in contact with you on other future things, so thank you again, and have a great day.
Great. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, your viewers.
Okay, take care. Bye.